And so, my dear ones, here we are in this great month of January, going back to the fundamentals, going back to the basics of the teaching of science of mind and spirit. And it's a wonderful, great, good thing all over the world now. That's what we're all doing together as one great community. And so last week we looked at life, the thing itself, love, the thing itself, God, the thing itself, whatever name you want to give life, the thing itself. And we realized that it was indeed that which is ever, ever permanently the same thing yesterday, today, and tomorrow. It is the great unmoved mover. It is first cause. It is the creator of everything, and out of it all things appear. Today, we're going to look at the way it works, the way life works, the way the divine works, the way it all works. And of course, the way it works is through consciousness. Consciousness is the way it works. And consciousness uses mind and thought on three-dimensional planet Earth anyway. I don't know what it uses anywhere else, but here I know it uses mind and thought in order to demonstrate its awesomeness and to make it available to each and every one of us through the way we use mind, through the way we concentrate our thought. And as a result of that, then, we can come to understand, realize, and experience that the awesome, almighty presence, its power as consciousness, is what you and I live, move, and have our being in, and is available to us all of the time to do what it does, to contemplate. Because that's how creation happens. Spirit contemplates upon itself, and the idea is formed. Now, that's not the way you and I form an idea. We as human beings use the very same process, but for us it is a process. In spirit, there is no process. It's instantaneous. It happens like that. So spirit and contemplation is all the time one with the idea, and the one with the idea is one with the thing itself that becomes visible, evolves into whatever spirit so desires. You and I get the idea too. In the very same way, we contemplate the idea, we have the idea, and then we have to make sure that we do whatever it takes to bring the idea into fruition and to make it happen. You and I are in process because you and I are in time, you and I are in space, but spirit is not. The divine is not. Consciousness, ultimate consciousness, cosmic consciousness is outside of time and space. Well, we're all going to endeavor to try and understand that as best we can, but the human mind cannot fully comprehend it because it is finite. And we're dealing here with an infinite concept. But anyway, consciousness is the gift that you and I have available to us as far as understanding it fully enough in order to take this thing called thought and entertain it in this thing called mind in a way that produces amazing, wondrous, awesome good. And that's today's calling to you and to me, to get consciousness, to wake up and become consciously conscious, because that's the answer to everything, all of our questions, and that's also the solution to all of our challenges, to become consciousness. So self-contemplation is a very important thing, and you and I never stop contemplating. Something or another is firing up in our minds all of the time, and we are contemplating that either at a very conscious level or an unconscious level, but nevertheless it's the energy that's moving in our minds, and we have to watch that very, very carefully, like we would watch a seed that we grow in the soil of the garden, and make sure it has everything it needs in order to come to harvest, fruition, and so on. And so when we talk about mind, we have to quickly remember, those of us who've done Science of Mind 101, that there are two aspects of mind. There's the conscious aspect and there's the subconscious aspect. And note I did conscious and subconscious like it was like this, and it's not. It's like this. There's conscious mind, there's subconscious mind, not two things, just two aspects. It's all one thing. Both things work together simultaneously, and all at the one time it's happening. It's not, this is to happen here, and then I have to take it down here and put it here, and then put it here, they pick it up and they work on it, and then they produce it and they put it out there. No, this thing happens all at one thing. Conscious mind, subconscious mind working together produces instantaneously something. And so think about at 12 o'clock here, you have conscious mind. We'll call conscious mind spirit because we're calling spirit the director of all of our thinking, directs our thinking insofar as it is spirit, conscious mind here that thinks the idea, has the plan, has the idea. But then if you think in terms of the director passes it on to the plant manager, which we call at 9 o'clock here, which we call, am I going the right way or should I be going this way because it's stage left? I don't know. Anyway, 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock, we have this thing called subconscious mind, which is the creative medium, the creative process. We call it the law, we call it soul, spirit, soul. Now, there's this wonderful action needing that happens between the soul and spirit, spirit and the soul. And when the idea falls into the fertile soil of the creative medium, I call it the womb of creation myself, the idea is taken by the law and it is worked upon and molded into something that moves over here into 3 o'clock and becomes a manifestation, becomes a result, becomes the outcome of the action between the conscious mind, the subconscious mind, or spirit and soul, whatever we want to call it, the producer of the idea and the law that works upon the idea, whatever way you want to see it or call it. But that's right. Just think, 12 o'clock something's happening, an idea is formed. 9 o'clock something is working and moving upon that idea to make it happen. And then at 3 o'clock you have the result of it. So I'm thinking, the life is dreadful, it's hard, how am I going to survive? I don't know. What's it all about, Alfie? So, okay, so my subconscious mind, if I think it all of enough, is working upon, oh my God, she's miserable, she's upset, and so on. We must give her that, that's what she wants, so let's work on it, and then over here, yay, a headache, a stomach ache, whatever. Perfect manifestation. Am I not powerful? Am I not great? Am I not grand? I am. I'm awesomely wondrous, intelligent, and magnificent. Look what I've done. I produced something just like that. Just like that. That's the way mind works. That's the way thought works. And that moves through this thing called infinite cosmic field of intelligence, you see. Mind and thought work in the field of infinite cosmic intelligence. And at the universal level, it's awesomely whole, complete. At the individualized level, which is your level and my level, it's all over the place and can be anything, depending upon what we're thinking. But the power is yours, the almighty power, the almighty presence of this thing called the law of mind is available to you and to me, and using that in a conscious way, in a deliberate way, in an intentional way can produce great good in your life and can produce great good in mine. Think about it. I love to think about it, the spirit or the director, so to speak, as the gardener. Think of a gardener as the gardener. And then I like to think the law or the soul as, as the soil that we're going to sow the seed into. And then the harvest of what we're sowing as the outcome, the manifestation or the demonstration. So the gardener goes out, hang on. The gardener goes out with a little packet of seeds, right? I got my seeds and they're the best seeds I could get. I made sure I could buy the best seeds that I could get. So I have my seeds. These happen to be pumpkin seeds, and here they are. They're in this little packet, and they're safe in the packet and secure in the packet. Now, here's the way it is with beautiful, bright ideas. I can leave them in the packet, and they'll remain in the packet, but they'll never realize their potential if I do. They'll always be just there in the packet, nothing much is happening. There are two things I can do with these particular seeds. I can eat them, and they can nurture my body. But that's a small use of them in a way. Or I could take them, I could plant them in this fertile soil. I could put them in there, and then I have to create an environment for these seeds in order to flourish and to thrive. So I have to take care of them. I have to nurture them. I have to nourish them. I have to water them. I have to weed. I have to make sure they get the right light, and I have to keep an eye on them. All the time revisiting, coming back and making sure that they're awesomely wonderful, loving up in them and telling them how great and grand and wonderful they all are, etc. And then I get this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful array of these things called sunflowers. And how can you not smile at a sunflower as it follows the sun all over the place? And then in the ripeness of time, I can harvest all the seeds from the sunflower. And in that ripeness of time, I can get a whole bunch of seeds out of one sunflower and start the process all over again and glean an even greater harvest. Because what? I have created the fertile soil. I have created the right atmosphere for these seeds to grow, and they do. And they do. And I gain, as a result of that, what I need to gain from the use of this thing called consciousness and my use of it all. Am I coming into cooperation with it? Because Ernest Holmes says it's not enough to know the principles of science of mind and spirit. It's not enough at all to know them. I must apply them. And I cannot apply them until I've embodied them. To embody them, I must become one with them. I must know that this is so, this is true, this is real, this is so. And like any science, if I follow the law of science, I will get the right outcome. If I apply a formula of math to a problem I want to solve, if I apply that formula correctly, I will get the result. And I will get the same result over and over and over again, because I've embodied the principle and I've applied the formula and I've done it correctly, and there is the proper outcome. It's the same with metaphysics. If I embody the principles of metaphysics and I apply the principles of metaphysics, I will get the same outcome over and over again, which is the good that I have desired, the good that I have desired. But you and I have to work on it, really work on it. You have over there two balloons. One of them is bigger than the other. Those balloons represent an idea. And what do I have to do with an idea? I have to get clear about the idea. I then have to support the idea. I have to think about it, vision it, see it, perceive it, make myself one with the picture I'm seeing. And then anytime I think about it, I have to come back and support it and see it happening. Indeed, I have to know that it already is so in the metaphysical sphere, and I'm just fleshing it out now by supporting it through the way I'm thinking, through the way I'm feeling. Indeed, I'm already feeling it's there already, so I'm thinking that's so, I'm feeling that's so, and I'm beginning to act like that's so. So I have to put that into it. So if you take the idea, which now is represented in this balloon, and what I have to do is, now I'm clear about it. Here it is, it's a beautiful green idea. And now I have to enliven it. I have to put the life in it by actually supporting it. How do I support this? I have supported with the way I think and feel about it. I'm looking forward to a beautiful balloon that's going to be floating lovely in the sky. I can play with the balloon, I can bounce the balloon, I can do anything I want to do with this balloon. Already I see it in mind, but I know it's not going to happen until I do what it takes and make the effort to get it there. So I support it. And I support it more. I'm feeling good about it, so I support it more. And my gosh, I'm looking forward to this game. It'll give me a bit of exercise as well, which is always a good thing. When you bounce a balloon, it's wonderful. I recommend it. Try it. Don't take my word for it. We're almost there. And so when I get excited toward the end, I keep putting in more and more effort. Big effort. Big effort. I'm not going to go and blow it up in my face. But here it is. Oh my God, look at it. It's ready. But it needs one thing. It needs a string. Doesn't it need the string? And when I get the string on it, then I can do what I like with this balloon. I can bounce and throw it, play with somebody else and share it and so on. And I'm so excited and I'm coming right up to the experience of it and then... That's what you and I often do when we have supported an idea and we're right at the winning post and we lose our confidence or we lose our interest or somebody rains on our parade or somebody hails on our crop and we say, what was I thinking to think that I could do that or achieve that or accomplish that? This one is a fully baked idea and the other one is a half-baked idea. Because it's only half supported. You see, it hasn't reached its full potential. And yet, even though I have created this and everything is good about that, and I could use them to some extent, I could take those down and play with them and use them and so on, they're there. But I've done it, but yet I'm not really availing of it. The opportunity, I'm not even using them. It's like the seeds I leave in the packet, thinking, God, they're great seeds, and one day I'll sow them and something will grow. But the amazing thing about it is your mind, your consciousness is there available to you at all times. And it doesn't matter how chronic and awful and terrible and dreadful your life is right now. That can completely change if you would become one with the idea that all power is yours. And that power is almighty. That power is a presence. That power is a power that is a power to life, to live, to create, to bring about good, not just for yourself, but for everything and everyone around you. It is a power to mend, to fix, to heal. It is a power to unlock the keys of the kingdom. It is a power that tells us and proclaims to us all of the time that the kingdom is here and the kingdom is now, and that you too can enjoy all the gifts of the kingdom. That's what the awesome power of consciousness is. But it's up to you and it's up to me to make it into this wonderful, creative, awesome soil that we tend and care for, and that we sow only the best of seeds into, and that we enjoy looking after it and nurturing it and nourishing it and giving it the right light and delighting in the harvest and sharing the harvest with everybody around us once it comes in. That's what's available to you. That's what's available to me now. Now, with nothing else for you and I to do except wake up and remember I am the conscious life of spirit in expression and form, and that although I am an individualized aspect of it, all of its unity is within me, all of its diversity is within me, all of its divinity is within me. All that it is within me and available to me, and I can draw through it any good thing that I desire. Once I embody, once I know, once I'm available to it, once I say yes to it, once I allow it, I have got to be the action underneath the idea. No one else, nothing else can be that action except me. And where does the action come from? Consciousness. And what does that mean? It means the way I use the one mind that I'm in, the way I think into it, the way I feel into it, the way I am conscious of it, the way I get excited and delighted about the possibility that it provides for me. Any possibility. How excited are we? When were you last dancing in delight, giddy with delight at the understanding and the realization of this basic 101 science of mind and spirit principle that you have been exposed to, taking classes about, and saying, yeah, I know the principles of science of mind and spirit. Well, you may know them, but the question is, have you embodied them? Because nothing happens without the embodiment of the idea, which means I have become one with it, which means I have owned it, which means I have claimed it, which means I have said yes to it, and I'm never ever going to consciously and deliberately let go of what I have created when I come right up to being able to use it for my good and the good of all. And as you see, the idea is not the same as even it was in the beginning. It's not as pristine. However, I still can reclaim it and reuse it, and I can still make what my original idea of it was happen. And so can you. So for goodness sake, instead of us all the time thinking that we're victimized, that we're lacking, that we're limited, why is it that we cannot stand up, breathe deeply and say, you know what, I'm going to give this thing called consciousness and the law of mind a fair chance. I'm going to support it. I am going to work it. And I know that if I work the law will work for me. And it'll work through me. And not only will I be affected by the outcome, but all those near and dear to me will be affected by the outcome. And not only that, but the whole of life will be affected by the outcome, because the whole of life will be raised as a conscious consequence of me raising my consciousness. I'm getting so giddy with delight I can hardly talk. Oh my gosh, that's where you are. That's what's available to you. The question is, are you going to say yes to it? Yes. And so it is.